Hey Pin Explorers, today we're going to be pin trading around the monorail resorts, and those resorts consist of the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Grand Floridian. Then we're going to be heading over to Magic Kingdom to finish off our day of pin trading, and we're going to start from right here at the Contemporary, and I'm inviting you to join me. All you have to do is subscribe and your next pin adventure awaits you. So come along, the pin boards must be explored, so let's go! I have my Pin Explorer book here, and these are the pins we're going to be trading today. We're going to go right over here to the front desk, and they're going to have a pin board over there. Let's go over and check out their pin board. Okay, here's a look at that pin board. Alright, let's see a high five Mickey. Don't really see anything necessarily that I need. Alright, right here at Steakhouse 71, they usually have a pin board in there. We're going to go and check that out. Here's a look at that pin board. Okay. I think I see anything that I need. So they do have another pin board, and it's in the bar area. Here's a look at that pin board. High five, Mickey. So right here at the Steakhouse 71, they actually had two pin boards in there. I didn't know about the one in the back. I just found out about it, but there are two. One's at the bar, one's at the front. Right here is Fantasia gift shop right in the middle. As you go through on the monorail, you'll notice it's right here. This one is the one that has the pin board. We'll go look in the other one for pin trading cast members in a minute, but we're gonna go inside, we're gonna look at the pin board. Let's go. All right, so here's a look at that pin board. Okay, and then there is a pin pad. All right, nothing for me. The Fantasia Market right over here. And they're gonna actually have a pin board too, so let's go look at that pin board. All right, here's a look at that pin board. So we just scored a really good pin. It is the Fantasia Flight pin. It's the B. Yeah, that was a good find. So now we're gonna head into BVG, and they will just have pin trading cast members if we find any. They usually do, but they don't have a pin board. Let's head inside BVG. It's right here. See if they have any pin trading cast members. We got this really cute Santa Claus Mickey. How cool is that? Hey Mickey. Let's see, how much is he? 35. Hey Mickey. That Mickey is so cute. Isn't he cute? Then we got some ornaments here. Mickey and a reef ornament. How much they go for? 26. So 27. So we didn't find any pin trading cast members inside BVG here. We're gonna go into Contempo Cafe. We have a pin board. It's right here at the checkout. Here's a look at that pin board. Right here is DVC, but they're not here right now. They normally have a pin board. We're all done here at the Contemporary, and we're gonna go over to the Polynesian, and we're gonna pin trade over there next. Let's get on the monorail. It's here. Let's go. One of my favorite resorts over in this area is the Polynesian. You walk into the Polynesian, don't forget to find your hidden Mickey. It's right here on the floor. Hey Pin Explorers, we just made it to the Polynesian. We're gonna go over here to the front desk and we're gonna check out their pin board. All right, here's a look at that pin board. Looks like there's nothing here for us. Keep moving. Right here at Boutique, it's gonna have a pin board. Let's go check out that pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Don't see anything that I need. So our next pin board is going to be down here at the DVC counter. Let's go check out that pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. DVC pin board. Okay. Looks like there's nothing here for us. Alright, we're going to fill up our water. Always got to have a water break. We're here to check in for Ohana. They'll have a pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. So our next pin board is going to be right here at Moana Mercantile. Let's go in and check out that pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Alright. You seeing anything on this one? Kona Cafe. They also have a pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Kona Cafe. Alright. High five, Mickey. Alright. Looks like there's nothing here for us. Okay, Explorers, we walked over here to the Island Tower, the new DVC part of the Polynesian. So we're gonna go inside and we're gonna check out the pin board. So right here at the front desk is where the pin board is. All right, here's a look at that pin board.
Towards Grand Floridian.
Okay. It's got a high five Mickey. Nothing for me. So this is like one of the little Moana boats here. We have this nice mural. This is a really nice DVC resort. This is their new one. It's pretty cool. We're all done here at the Island Tower, the new DVC part of the Polynesian. Now they only had one pin board and there wasn't anything on that. Since we're already here, it's pretty close, we're just gonna go ahead and walk over to the Grand Floridian. So let's go. We made it to the Grand Floridian. Let's go inside and check out those pin boards. Let's go. This is the Grand Floridian. And right here is the front desk, and they'll have a pin board. Let's go over and see that pin board. All right, here's a look at that pin board. Okay. So there was nothing on that pin board. Here's DVC. Here's a look at that pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. So I didn't have anything on that pin board at the DVC counter. We're gonna look in the gift shop here. Here's their cute little Halloween countdown, Mickey and Minnie. These are a really cool Grand Floridian pin here. It's silver, so that one is $14.99. Oh, Stitch is really cool down there. Love that one. On the pin trading cast member, here's a look at their pins. Okay, a couple t-shirts, but nothing that I need. So we did find a pin trading cast member. Unfortunately, there wasn't any pins on there that we needed. There's a few t-shirts, but we already have those. Now we're gonna go into clothers. On the pin trading cast member, let's look at her pins. We're gonna trade for the Stitch, and I'll trade you this one. Thank you. On the pin trading cast member, let's look at her pins. And I did see a pin that I wanted, so I'll trade you that, and let's do this one.
Okay.
Okay, so they had a couple pin trading cast members. We did make a couple trades. We traded for the Stitch ears, so we did trade for this. And then we found a castle. I'm so excited we found those pins. We're going to go upstairs. Yeah, upstairs and look for some more pins here at the Grand Floridian. Let's go. I love this new carpet they put in. You gotta look for the hidden Mickeys in them. Kind of right out here in the open, but it's actually hidden. Pretty cool, right? I see Mrs. Potts. I don't know if they just did this part. They might have, but you got Mrs. Potts, and on the other side over here, got a rose in the middle, of course. The other side is Chip. Pretty cool, right? I think they just redid this floor when they did the carpet, and I think they're still working on some stuff back in here. But that's pretty cool. Okay, explorers, we just have one more gift shop now, and that's gonna be up here on the second floor all the way back. We found a couple pins here. I think we're up to about 3 pins so far in our resort pin trading, which isn't bad. There's some good pins too. We're gonna look in this M. Mouse McIntyre, and they should have a pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. I think I'm gonna get a couple pins here. I really like these. I may wait on Minnie, but I'm definitely gonna get Mickey and the 4 parks here, the Christmas, Merry Christmas pins. These are yellow, so they are $17.99. I did go ahead and grab a couple of these Christmas pins. I was kind of worried they may not be around long. I know we're still doing Halloween. It's not quite Halloween yet. It's fixing to be in a few days. But I went ahead and bought a couple of these pins because now you just don't know if they'll run out or not. Okay, so now we're gonna jump on the monorail and we're gonna head over to Magic Kingdom. Let's go. We made it here at the Magic Kingdom to finish off our day of pin trading. I'm wearing my spooky Mickey Mouse Halloween shirt. Check it out. How cool is that? Happy Halloween to all my pin explorers out there. I think we're gonna start over here at the locker rentals and wheelchairs. Go check out that pin board. Take a look at that pin board. Stroller Rentals has a pin board. So here's a look at that pin board. Okay. Not seeing anything that I need. Right here at Town Square Theater. Now this is the gift shop for the meet and greet for Mickey Mouse. Let's check out that pin board. All right, here's a look at that pin board.
have that bottle for first dip?
Now we're gonna head over here to the Emporium and check out that pinboard. Here's a look at that pinboard. Okay. So we have two pinboards in here. The second one's down here at the other end. Let's look at that pinboard. Here's a look at that pinboard. Okay, not seeing anything that I need. We're all down here at the Emporium. So we did get the great movie ride pin. This is a really good pin. It's authentic, it's real. I've seen one that was fake. It looked like it was fake, but this one is real. So yeah, Main Street Cinema has a pinboard. Let's go check it out. So here's a look at that pinboard. Okay. Pin trading cast member. Here's a look at her pins. It's right here at Plaza Restaurant. They have a pinboard. Let's look at that pinboard. I got a high five Mickey. We're gonna go over here to the guest experience team and we're gonna look at their pinboard. All right, here's a look at that pinboard. So there was nothing on that pinboard. Our next one's gonna be over here at Star Traders. Let's go and check out that pinboard. Here's a look at that pinboard. You got some Munchling on there. Let's do Buzz Lightyear. Trade it for Munchling. Our next pinboard, we're gonna head over here to Space Mountain. So Space Mountain is going to have a gift shop, and inside the gift shop, we're gonna find a pinboard. Now, I guess this pinboard would be considered Tron's pinboard and Space Mountain. I guess they're sharing now. They're starting to look up from the time we got here. Let's go. Now we're gonna go over here to Tomorrowland Launch Depot and check out their pinboard. All right, here's a look at that pinboard. Okay. I don't really see anything that I need. Now we're gonna head over here to Storybook Circus and check out that pinboard. We made it to Storybook Circus. Now we're gonna look inside Big Top Souvenirs to find the pinboard. Here is that pinboard. All right, let's see a pen I would like to trade for. Let's do this one. So we're gonna trade this one for this one. We just did a trade inside Big Top Souvenirs, and guess what we got? Gorilla. That is a really good pen. We're all down here at Big Top Circus. And we're gonna go inside Village Gifts and look at their pinboard. Right, so here's a look at that pinboard. Alright. High five Mickey. Other than that, don't really see anything that I need. Alright, so Village Gifts didn't have anything on that pinboard. Right here at Be Our Guest Restaurant, they're gonna have a pinboard just to the left, better known as Belle's Castle. All right, so here's a look at that pinboard. Okay, high five Mickey. Another high five Mickey. Duplicates. Oh no, duplicates. There's a guest experience team right here. They're gonna have a pinboard. So here's a look at that pinboard. The guest experience team did not have any good pins on there. So next we're going to head over here to the Winnie the Pooh ride. So the gift shop when you come off is called 100 Acre Goods. We're going to go inside and see if we can find any good pins to trade for. All right, here's a look at that pinboard. Okay. I just traded one of these the other day. Sir Mickey's, they'll have another pinboard. All right, here's a look at that pinboard. Okay. I don't really see anything that I need. There was nothing on that pinboard. Our next one's going to be right here at Fantasy Fair. Let's go check out that pinboard. Let's look at that pinboard. Now we're going to go inside Minto Mori's. Look at their pinboard. Let's look at that pinboard. No. There's two of them right here. And right there. Duplicates. Now we're going to look and see if there's any pin trading cast members here at Harbor House. We did pretty good last time we came in here. On the pin trading cast member, here's a look at their pins. So now we're going to go down here to Ye Olde Christmas Shop and look at their pin board. And then across from that is going to be the ticket center. And inside the ticket center, there should be another one. There's the photo pass. They'll have a pin board there as well. That's at least 3 right here in this one corner. Let's go check them out. So right here is one at the Christmas store. I like to call it the Christmas store. It's Ye Olde Christmas Shop. On the pin trading cast member, here's a look at their pins. Here's a look at the pin board. Okay. Got a high five Mickey. That's pretty much all I see. Directly across from that, that's the ticket center. They're gonna have a pin board. Let's check it out. All right, here is a look at the pin board inside the ticket center. I like that, that's funny. All right, here's a look at that pin board. This one is over at the photo pass. So we just got done looking at the ticket center. They didn't have anything, or the photo pass board didn't have anything. And the Christmas shop didn't have anything. Right here, sometimes they have a pin board. And so here's a look at that pin board. The Frontier Trading Post is gonna be our next pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Alright. High five Mickey. Nothing inside there. So now we're gonna go across over here to Big Al's and look at their pin board. All right, so that one was a bust, nothing on it. We've covered the boards here. Let's go on down to Tiana, and then there's gonna be 2 boards down there. Critter Co-op is our first one. Let's check out that pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Got a high five Mickey. So we're gonna go back here, the other gift shop, look at their pin board. All right, here's a look at that pin board. High five Mickey. Okay. All right, so we're all done here. Go over here to the guest experience team and check out their pin board. All right, here's a look at that pin board. Okay. So right here in front of us is the pirate ride. And then we're looking in the gift shop for the pin board. Now you never know where it's at. They've had it in the back most of the time here lately, but they've switched it up sometimes. So we'll just go in here and look and see. Today it's right here at the door. Let's check out that pin board. Here's a look at that pin board. Pinocchio is really cute. Pin trading cast member. Found a pin trading cast member. Here's their pins. I may trade you for the Aurora. We'll trade Chip for the Aurora. Right here at the Jungle Cruise, sometimes they have a pin board. Let's walk down and see if they do. But one of the cast members, they're just really fantastic. They looked for the pin board. They said they didn't have it today. We're gonna look over here at this little Aladdin place. A lot of times they may have a pin board. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. All right, here's a look at that pin board. So they did have a pin board here today. Now our next one, I believe, is gonna be right here, maybe at the treehouse, and then you're gonna have the guest relation team. They're gonna have a pin board. Blue Umbrella here is the guest relation team. All right, here's a look at that pin board. All right, got a high five Mickey. That's kind of cool. So I don't see a pin board over here at the treehouse today, but that's okay. Let's keep moving. Our next pin board is gonna be right here at Bwana Bob's. Let's check out that pin board. All right, so here's a look at that pin board. All right. He is so cute. I have not seen him. Too cool. When you're pin trading, you always want to trade real for real or fake for fake. So I always keep a few on hand in case I find a fake pin that I really like, because they're still really nice pins, but they're just not authentic Disney pins, and that's okay, as long as we're giving them one in exchange of equal value as far as not being real and a real pin. That's going to do it for us here at the Magic Kingdom. Make sure you subscribe and your next pin adventure awaits you. So let's go.